MADA's bill, which would simplify dealership regulations, authored by Representative Bruce Vogel and Senator Al DeCrief, has now passed out of both the House and Senate Transportation Committees, as well as the Senate Judiciary Committee, and has cleared important legislative policy deadlines. As expected, this bill passed unanimously and with little debate. The bill has now been moved to the House floor for debate and final passage, and must still be heard in the Senate Finance Committee before it can be heard on the floor for final passage. The bill includes a provision that will remove the requirement that vehicle license plates or registration stickers be attached to the vehicle on the same day as the vehicle sale when a dealer is using the optional computerized vehicle registration or CVR system. This change will allow dealers more flexibility in utilizing the CVR system, an important feature in light of the state's current backlog in processing title applications. In addition, the bill will allow dealers who are holding a vehicle for resale to obtain a lien release by sending a letter to the lien holder by certified mail, return receipt requested. The dealer can then present the returned letter to the department as evidence of the attempt to contact the lien holder and be granted a clean title from the department. This mechanism would only be available for liens which are more than 7 years old. Finally, the MADA bill would create a more efficient bonded title procedure where a dealer or customer could avoid going to court to get a clean title on a used vehicle with a missing owner by putting up a bond worth 1.5 times the value of the vehicle to cover any unforeseen claims or damages against the vehicle. The bill did receive a small fiscal note meant to compensate a quarter-time staff at DVS to process the bonded title provision of the bill. MADA is currently working with legislative leadership to determine the best course of action regarding the fiscal note so that we do not jeopardize the bill. This week, the Minnesota legislature debated so-called right-to-work legislation, which would prohibit unions from requiring non-union employees to pay union dues, a change that would dramatically decrease the power of organized labor in Minnesota. Over 1,000 union activists took to the Capitol on Monday to protest against the bill. After a 4-hour hearing in the Senate Judiciary Committee, the bill passed on a 7-6 vote. Senator Bill Ingebrigtsen was the lone Republican no vote in the committee. It is unclear, however, how many Republicans in both the House and the Senate really do support this idea. Recently, House Speaker Kurt Zeller said that while he personally supports the idea of right-to-work legislation, he doesn't see a broad appetite for this within the House GOP caucus. There's also potential for political backlash on a right-to-work constitutional amendment. Should this get onto the ballot this fall, it would receive the full blowback of the organized labor movement, which would likely outspend right-to-work proponents by a large margin. This may result in several targeted Republican defeats in the fall election, a risk that GOP leaders may not be willing to take. There's also a growing perception that adding another controversial GOP-led constitutional amendment to the ballot will be seen unfavorably by the voters. For now, however, it seems that the bill is unlikely to advance any further this year. Senate File 1734 and House File 2136, a bill being promoted by the insurance industry as well as the Association of Automotive Service Providers, was heard in the House Commerce Committee this week. MADA initially opposed this bill because it sought to remove salvage vehicles from being subject to the salvage title brand. Working with the AASP as well as the bill's author, MADA was able to negotiate an amendment that preserves the salvage title brand on vehicles older than 6 years old and with a greater value than $9,000. Of course, the salvage title brand will still apply to all vehicles newer than 6 years old. The bill was passed out of the House Commerce Committee with the MADA amendment and will next be heard by the House Ways and Means Committee. The Senate version of the bill has been added to the Senate's Omnibus Transportation Policy Bill. MADA will continue to monitor this bill as it continues to move through the committee process. Of course, feel free to contact us if you have any questions, and we'll be sure to keep you up to date as things move along at the legislature. Thank you.